Hey guys, how you doing? Today is November the 14th. I will start making the series of videos that I promised you I would about my discovery, what I've discovered since my awakening. A lot of things, a lot of them are important. They're all important, but a lot of them are of vital importance for us to know. Today's subject, what I'm going to talk about is, since I get a lot of questions about that, I don't like to mention these things because a lot of serious people, when they listen to topics like these, like the way I used to be before my awakening, even in my early 40s, the subject of aliens. Now, this is a society plastered with stuff like that in movies and topics on the internet, NASA, all those things. But for some reason, in the, we'll call it professional circles, it's not really taken seriously. Most people that talk about it are thought of as lunatics, schizophrenics, crazy, or a bunch of kids that, read a lot of comic books. But it's a legitimate topic to talk about, at least make a couple of videos on. And even if people don't want to believe the truth that I can only talk to you about now, not prove it yet, I will in the coming videos. Like I said to you, something about my channel. Everything I say, I will prove eventually. And I will tell you when. So today, basically, I'm just going to introduce this topic as it's going to be one of the topics talked about in the next couple of months. And it's the topic of aliens. Do they live amongst us? The answer, I can give it to you right now. Yes, they do. Are they easily spotted? Let's use the expression hidden in plain sight would be the best one to describe it. Are they green? Do they come with saucers and, no, they're not. Why are they depicted with big brains? Because it's an entity with a brain that controls a lot of corpses. Let's leave it at that. So the subjects of the supernatural, I will give you guys my opinion on what I think. And at least, you could say I covered such thing because, my channel's about microchips, invading your privacy, surveillance, gang stalking, and all that stuff. So it'll be unfair not to mention the subject, which I'll be diving into deeply within the next couple of months. What are they doing to us? Are they good to us? Are they bad to us? They're basically doing to us what they tell you in all the movies you see. In every single movie that you watch, this entity is talking to you subliminally, indirectly, with insinuations, and it's love. Numerology and symbology. It's everywhere. It's all over our society. They tell you we're here. You just can't see us. Why? Because you're still sleeping. You haven't awakened to your environment yet. You haven't asked questions. Why do people make a lot of noise around me? Why are they always around me everywhere I go? How come when I go to places where they shouldn't have a lot of people, all of a sudden they appear in cars and noise everywhere? For example, those are my experiences. Maybe your experiences are different. You have to figure that out for yourself. You have to look and ask questions. So, are they good to us? The movies tell you what they're doing to us. Why? For a reason, survival. They talk about the food chain and how, the bigger eats the smaller and so on and so forth. Us human beings in our nature, we don't do that. We're not like that. But there's been a disruption, an infiltration of our state of being a long time ago. Thousands and thousands of years ago. This entity tries to tell us through its subliminal messages that it was around 10,000 years ago in movies and, I will pinpoint those things for you and give you clips to show you how And then you could make up your own mind whether it's true or not. Like I always say, don't believe a word that I say. Watch my videos, see for yourself, ask your own questions. And if you see the proof that I give you that it's legitimate enough, then okay, you can believe it. So what they're doing is basically, we all need to survive. Human beings need food to physically survive. We need nature and interaction with each other for our emotions and soul to keep going. This entity, basically, what it's doing, it's feeding on us. Vampires, zombies, they tell you in the movies. They're not really physically feeding on us. It's a hidden entity that's depriving us of the essentials in life, dividing us and conquering us. Not by race, not by gender, not by nationality, not by color, not by size. None of that stuff that they mention in the media, or that those are all just curtains, layers of that onion. They're dividing us in a very strange way that I'm not ready to tell you yet. But they also tell you in the movies how they're creating, human farms and circles and human in the middle. And we're pretty much divided from each other, human beings. We're not really connected anymore. This is something that you have to see for yourself how it is around you. But this is an introduction video that I'm making for real proof to come with, movie clips in it and everything. So it gives you an idea on how it works. But they pretty much have us divided and conquered. And this has been a process over the last 500,000 years. A lot of people don't see that. When you discuss subjects like these, they'll think you're crazy or you're just you have a great imagination or whatever. But it's really hard to see it. It's not easy. People are wrapped up with their daily errands and problems and, you name it. Money, family, they just don't have the time to even bother looking around them, and, trying to ask some questions. Give it 5 minutes a day, not even. And that's not by chance. That's by design. It's specifically architected that way so you don't have time or even the desire or the will to look at your environment and ask questions. For a reason. Because if you do, you will start to see things for what they are. And you will start to notice things that this entity does not want you to notice. Because it will interrupt its feeding frenzy, which is our energy that we exert through many things. I'm going to give you a small example where I got these ideas and why I'm making this video. My channel is about gang stalking. If you take gang stalking, for example, what is it? Why do people stalk you? What is it taken away from you? Guys, if you go to an open space and you take a good look at the trees, nature, and everything, you know what that does to you? That's called soul food. That feeds your soul, your emotions, through your eyes, your ears, through peace and quiet, and other senses, smells, you name it. But mainly eyes and ears. Now, if there was a constant motion in front of you as you're trying to enjoy those things, so you can derive that energy from that open space, get it through your eyes into your soul, so you can feed it and feel better. If there was something intercepting that or disrupting it by people pacing in front of you, cars, trucks, birds, leopards running around, it started to snow, wind, just popped up out of nowhere. What would happen to that feeding experience that you're trying to get to feed your soul? It would be disrupted. So who would benefit from that? Who would rob you? Who would rob that energy that you need to feed to pass through your eyes and ears into your soul so it could be nurtured, so you can feel better? Whatever crosses your path, these creatures or these entities or that noise, that will rob that from you. It will take it away from you. That's just an example. A lot of things are not going to make sense in this video, and they're not supposed to. Like I said, this is an introduction to the alien farming of human beings on Earth. You know, the human farms that they've created for us that we can't see because we're so preoccupied with the machine that they built for us that's full of brainwash, entertainment, laughs, profanity, sexuality, drugs, all the physical pleasures that are pretty much a main distraction and a main misdirection to the emotional and spiritual realm where we're supposed to live and use the physical to feed the emotional and not completely get rid of the spiritual and emotional and live constantly every minute in the physical, which will turn us into not animals or slaves, even worse. And then we'll just eat each other. But human beings don't do that. Like I said, I will go into detail in this subject, but I wanted to give you a small preview of what's coming. You know, maybe in the next couple of weeks or so, or maybe by the second week of December, you know, maybe just before Christmas or after, I will cover the subject completely, 100%. I will explain to you exactly how it happens, when this entity took over us, and what it's been doing to us for the last 10,000, 20,000 years, and how this world that we live in today is a construct of this entity, not us. Human beings do not like the system that's been built. There's nothing good about it. We don't feel good. We're stressed. Too much to do, so little to get in return. It's kind of like a greyhound race, you know? You see the greyhounds chasing the rabbit, they'll never get the rabbit. But the rabbit is an element used to fool them so they can exert that energy, thinking there's a prize, thinking there's something to feed on. There's nothing there. It's just an image. It's smoke and mirrors. So this entity built this smoke and mirrors machine that we live in, down to the design of the streets that we have, with the lights, green and red, and the crosswalk and everything. That's all built not by chance. There's a reason for that. Okay? There's a reason why there's a downtown in every city, sort of the commercial center, where a lot of people meet and cross each other's paths. And I'm going to get into all this for you and explain to you in detail and prove to you every single word I'm saying today. But not yet. I can't. If I could, I would. So this entity pretty much is responsible for everything that we have today. This grid that was built through electricity and then phones and computers and technology. Those aren't things created just by chance. Guys, creatures, doesn't matter, alien, non-alien, humans, any kind of creature does not create anything for entertainment or because it was bored. We create things out of necessity. Why? For survival. Everything that we have in existence today is created for survival. But survival for who? For human beings? Are we surviving better? Is the world in a better place today than it was 500 years ago? That's a topic that's, goes back to you. The majority of people that are logical don't think so. But that doesn't matter because there are a lot of others do believe they like it. So it's not my place to make a decision on that. I can give you my opinion, which I believe it's a disaster. So us as human beings, as a race, why would we do that to ourselves? We're logical beings. Why would we get ourselves to this position and create this torturous machine that we live in that we don't like? Oh, it's only a couple of people in power that pretty much created it, the rest hate it. No, guys, there's no such thing. There's only a couple of people in control. We could have taken over them a long time ago. They're not in control. They're just corpses standing there, not controlling things. They are being controlled by an entity that's here to pretty much deprive us of our energy and of our soul more than anything because it doesn't have one. That's what makes a human being special. We have a soul, a spirit that can activate emotions, emotion. That puts things in motion, our emotion, which comes from our soul, not from a physical body that will eventually rot. So I will get into the subject deeply, and for the first time ever on the internet or anywhere you want, a person will be able to prove to you how this entity came here, what it's doing to us, what it's done to us, what its goal is, and what's the solution, how we can come out of it. For the first time, the only person all over the internet that's ever said anything about that. Like I said, if I say anything wrong in my videos, comment and let me know. If I'm not the only one, if there's actually something out there that's proven, send me the link and I'll admit it. But there ain't any. I'm going to be the only one that's going to tell you who this entity is, how long it's been around us, what it's been doing to us, what it's doing now. You name it. All the questions, I'm going to answer them and prove them. Because if I can't prove them, then I haven't done anything. It's just a discussion board, just like all the others, where people go out and give out their opinions. So it's going to be an interesting subject. I wanted to give you an idea right now that, yes, it's been here for, it built this machine that we live in, pretty much. This is not human design, guys. Human beings don't like to torture themselves. We're not that stupid, okay? And we are not in control. We're much less than we used to be. We are being divided and conquered. Like I said, not by color, race, religion, gender, none of that stuff. In a way where that's pretty much in front of us. It's right in front of us, but we just can't tell yet because we haven't awakened to ask the right questions in order to see this brutal, evil entity that's in plain sight right in front of us, but it's hidden. You have to wake up to life and ask those questions till you realize what's going on. And I will guide you through this process step by step, gradually over the next month or so until I can give you the big sort of, not finale, but the proof itself. Because if I give it to you right now, I'm not ready and you're not ready to receive it because it's pretty complex. Believe me, I had to, pay a price to get it. A lot of pain through my awakening process over the last year and a couple of months for me to actually discover that. Other than that, I'll upload this video now, and this is, like I said, a preview, a sort of an introduction to what's coming about the alien human farms on Earth, pretty much. And the rest of this will be coming very soon, and I'll put a link at the end of this video for the proof and everything when it's ready. Okay, guys, today is November the 14th, 2019. The time right now is 6:10 p.m. See you around.